Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. I hope everyone's having a good Saturday morning. A bit late, basically starting off because I was at a friend's wedding and the reception went on a little while, but it was absolutely brilliant. So I'm back with the first video of today, and it is about the Jay Slater case. Someone said last night, messaged me, someone I've not heard from before, this case was an accident and leave her alone, and basically it only could have been an accident. But what I found is a lot of people haven't really looked into this case as much as I've done. Wax, Streamliners, and many others who were out there, and Duncan, who's still talking about the case now. There's still a lot of unsolved mysteries in Jay wander off into the mountains, traveling for many hours, and then ending, down a ravine. It never made sense to me. I understand that the family accepted that it is an accident due to, I think, a lot of the stories they heard, to be honest with you. But when I look at Friends and the friendship with Jay and them basically coming out and being transparent and honest, I don't think we got that. I really don't think we got that. When you're not showing your face and you're not coming out in a natural sense to say, hey, look, this is what happened to my friend. And be honest about it. Because like I said, people would never have been talking about this case as much as they did if people were transparent and honest and straightforward in what they were thinking. I remember Haley Comet was having a back and forth with Lucy Maylor, and none of the questions were answered. There was a lot of questions that Duncan had put out there in the early days when he got started. Nothing was answered. And it was always though, you should stop talking about the case, critics and stuff like that at the end of the day. But I know that the real truth is out there, and the majority of people weren't happy with the coroner not really covering all aspects. And when people were actually writing in and also wanting their stuff maybe read out, or maybe for Debbie's lawyer to have a look at it and question the Friends and Ayub at the end of the day. And it just seemed a bit of a circus, if you ask me, at the end of the day. A film within a film, as Ali called it, to be honest with you. And I do think that we've been sort of played a little bit to think that, it's going to go legal into a higher court, Crown Court, should I say, for injustice in the Jay Slater case, but that never happened. But like I said, I think this case, I had another streamliner to say, like, her son was going to go, and then his mum said, basically, just be careful, I'd rather you go somewhere else. And they ended up booking somewhere else, which was better. So I think the Jay Slater case have got people thinking, and this is one of the reasons why we make these videos at the end of the day. I know he was no angel at the end of the day, but like I said, there are still a lot of people on the preliminary, I think, which knows what happened to Jay. And this is a case which is going to go on and on and on and on and on. And I don't think it's over at the end of the day. And I think that we should still educate people on this and about friendship and finding real friends at the end of the day that stick by you. They're not going to leave you. They're going to make sure if you're hammered, or you've had a heady night, you're drunk, or you even taken drugs, that you're well looked after for when you go home, or if you need to go to the hospital at the end of the day. We saw his friends looking over him in the club, not giving a toss about him, and not even getting him out of a situation that he could have got himself in trouble with other people. That was bizarre. There are so many unanswered questions from him leaving the club, CCTV at the end of it, and this will always be talked about, and it won't go nowhere at the end of the day. One of the reasons why I put my this channel together out there is to help others, to educate others, and to understand sometimes what, goes on in this world, which can affect your life or even take your life away, like in the Jay Slater case. So I think it's always going to be discussed, but there's still many channels who are actually going back, new channels who are going back through the Jay Slater case, and so they should. And like I said, there are a lot of red flags. There are a lot of unproven stuff at the end of the day, and I don't buy it. I never have, since the early days, at the end of the day. But stay safe, people. It's just my view where we are on the case at the end of the day. And I'm still going to put bits and bobs out there because I think it's very, very important, basically, that a lot of people know the truth about this case. Let me know what you think, people. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment, and thank you very much indeed.